Hi, welcome to General Psychology. My name is Dr. John Ruys, and I'll be your instructor this semester. In this course, we're going to cover a variety of topics in psychology, ranging from how the brain works, what new research tells us about the different functions of the brain, how does drug addiction happen, and how do we best treat drug addiction, how do we improve learning and memory, and how does learning work, and how do we apply it to raising children or pets, for example. We'll talk about how humans develop across their lifespan, how prejudice and stereotypes form and how do we break them, how do we treat mental illness and what kinds of mental illnesses exist. You name it, we're going to cover a huge range of topics this semester to give you a taste about what psychologists generally research and what psychology tells us about human functioning. So for this course to work, I'm going to give you a general overview in just a few minutes, but first I want to tell you a little bit about myself. When most people think of psychologists, they think of someone doing clinical work, a clinical psychologist who's working with families, people struggling with mental illness such as anxiety or depression or bipolar disorder, people trying to improve their relationships, for example. So in actuality, that is not what most psychologists do. In fact, most people who graduate with a degree in psychology are working in a different field, such as in business or marketing or advertising, for example. That's actually the most common one. Some are working in law enforcement, such as a corrections officer. Those tend to be the bigger draws. School teachers are another one, rather than clinical work. About 20 to maybe 25% of all students who study psychology will end up doing some sort of clinical work, like a marriage and family therapist, a clinical psychologist, maybe a social worker, for example, or a variety of fields related to that. So there are, I, for example, did not come to psychology to be a clinical psychologist. Actually, I was a bio major, thinking about going to medical school, but mostly because I was interested in the brain and how the brain worked. So at some point in my studies at UC Davis, I decided I really wanted to study psychology more than biology specifically, and so I majored in biological psychology, or what you may think of as neuroscience. I participated in a variety of research projects looking at how do animals think about the world, how does their brain function to allow them to understand the world. For example, I was involved in a monkey research project investigating how altering a brain structure called the amygdala changes things like fear and social behavior in monkeys. So along the way, I eventually became interested in drug addiction and drug abuse, joined a research project after I finished my doctoral degree in animal behavior and neuroscience, looking at how alcohol addiction and other drugs actually alters the brain of young monkeys. After doing that for a few years, I decided that I like research, and I love research, but the thing that I love about it is I love telling other people about research. So even though you probably think of most psychologists as clinical psychologists, actually most of us are not. And while my background is not in clinical psychology, I can either answer a variety of questions you may have related to a number of areas in psychology, or I know where to find the answers. And if I can't find them, I can easily make them up. I'm really good at making stuff up. Anyways, let's spend a few minutes. Let's actually go over how the course is actually structured. So to find the course materials for this course, you're going to have to go to the Las Positas College homepage, shown here on your screen. In the top portion of the screen, what you'll see is a link that says Blackboard. All of the course materials and all the course assignments will be found on Blackboard. If you click on that link, it will take you to the login page for our Blackboard, or Las Positas College Blackboard page. Okay, you'll use your WID number as your username, so a little bit different than what's shown here on the screen. Your password, which is also explained here on the bottom of the screen, will be the first 2 letters of your first name, the first 2 letters of your last name, and the last 4 digits of your WID number, unless you've already used Blackboard before and changed your password. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then you can log in. Then what you're going to see here is a list of all of your courses that have Blackboard sites, and you'll see Psych 1. Click on that. Well, the first page that'll come up will be a variety of announcements, which will include how to double check to make sure that your email address is correct in ClassWeb, which is the email address that I would send you any announcements to, in addition to posting them here on the page. In addition, you'll see club meetings. So I happen to be the advisor for the Queer Straight Alliance, which meets every Wednesday at 3:30 in the Student Life Conference Center, 1643. You're more than welcome to stop by, and it's open to anyone. You don't have to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgendered, intersex, or pansexual to show up to these meetings. In addition, the Psychology Club and the Psi Beta Honor Society meet every Thursday at 3:30. That's in room 1602, so you can take a look at that. There's a variety of other information you'll find here on the page. Okay. Then what you'll also see is a list of my office hours. I'm not on campus a lot this semester, but you'll find my office hours there. But the easiest way is just to send me an email. In addition, you'll find the syllabus. The syllabus has all the information you'll need to understand what's going on in the course. So you'll see the course description itself, student learning outcomes, what I expect you to be able to do by the end of the course, and the textbook that we'll be using this semester. Okay. In addition, you'll see the course schedule, policies, technical requirements, other kinds of things, counseling services that are available to students, orientation services, tutorial services. So there are about 8 units plus a final project in this course. Each of the 8 units is divided up, and you'll see here they vary. The first unit's the least number of points, which is due on Tuesday, August 23rd. And then after that, all the other units are due on Thursdays at 5, and they're spread out. They're about 2 weeks apart, except for here towards the end with Thanksgiving break, you have about 3 weeks to complete that Unit 8. And then you have a final project here at the end. Each of these units will become available at 5 o'clock on the day that the previous unit was due. So Unit 2 is going to be available until September 1st at 5 o'clock. And then at 5:01, Unit 3 is going to pop up, and you'll have 2 weeks to work on that unit. Okay? Again, there are no late assignments. There also is no curve, so you'll need the number of points outlined here to get either an A, a B, a C, or a D. Okay? Then you'll see a course materials page, which has all of your assignments. If you've bought the book from the bookstore, it comes with an access code on the front page. You enter that access code right here using the Access to Textbook link. If you click on this link, a new window should pop up, which takes you to the college textbook page. It's a little slow, so we'll give it a minute. There you can see it's starting to work. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled, you may not see this initially as it pops up. But what you'll see here is any announcements, all the readings in the order that we're going to do them. In addition, when there are homework assignments, online homework assignments, you'll find those in these modules. Okay? If that pop-up didn't work, then you need to alter your pop-up blocker settings. There's a tutorial right here which shows you how to do that depending on whether you're using Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox, or another browser. If you're having problems using your access code or accessing the ebook and you've already tried the pop-up blocker fix, please use the Cengage technical support link to have it repaired. So right now what you'll see is Unit 1 and 2. Unit 1 is really just an introduction to the general course materials, as I'm sure you've already seen. You'll see it's kind of a, have you taken an online course before? Here's how online courses might be different. In every unit, what you'll see is a graded assignments folder, which also reminds you of the due date. And you can open that and you'll see in this first unit, there are only 2 assignments to work on. They're pretty quick. The test really is just whether or not you've read the syllabus and read the course to this point. So as long as you've done that, you should be okay. And then there's a getting to know you assignment that you post on the discussion board. In every module, there will be a discussion board assignment. So you just click on that link and you'll see the first few are available. Now, right now in this video, you can see these other ones, topic 3, topic 4. Those actually on your screen will not show up, but once that unit or once that topic appears, you'll be able to access them. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. If you're confused about an assignment or it's not working, please contact me. If you're having problems accessing the Cengage component though, I encourage you to first use the Cengage technical support. They'll be best able to help you.